Hello, today we are going to install the kde-build framework kde-builder on a very fresh install of KDE Neon User Edition. Let's see what this kde-builder framework is. So we go to kde.org, get involved, scroll to develop KDE software development. In here it says that in order to build KDE software from Git repositories, we probably want a hardware computer or a virtual machine that runs one of these Linux operating systems. So Arch Linux, OpenSUSE Tumbleweed, KDE Neon User Edition, and Fedora KDE. I've chosen this one, KDE Neon User Edition. This is what you're seeing right now. Next up, it says that we should install the tool named kde-builder. Let's click on this button. No, let's open this link in a new tab. And this is the website develop.kde.org. Previously, it was the wiki. So community.kde.org is an instance of MediaWiki, which is the same wiki software that's running Wikipedia. And this is a different site, develop.kde.org. In here it says that the current build framework is named kd-builder and the previous one was named kdesrc-build. So this one has an ER at the end and the previous one had an SRC extra in the middle. So kdesrc was replaced by kd-builder. Okay, let's look at for some instructions. We want to set up kde-builder. We have a large enough hard disk. And we should start running these instructions. Let's have the documentation taking the right half of the screen. Work take the left half of the screen. The instructions would be this one. So change it to the current directory, download a file from invent.kde.org, which is the GitLab on-prem installation of from the KDE community. The KDE project in there is named kd-builder. We download the file initial_setup.sh, which we're then going to run using bash. Maybe your default command line shell is Z shell. So this makes sure that initial_setup.sh is not run by Z shell, but by bash. It's downloading various packages. This tool kde-builder is written in Python, will require Python to be installed and some Python modules. Let's see what it actually did install. Git Python 3 module set proc title. It cloned a Git repository named kd-builder into the directory tilde/.local/share/kd-builder. Okay. And it says that kde-builder should be in my path environment variable. Maybe so. Let's prove that thing. So echo path environment variable should contain tilde/.local/bin, does not contain such a thing. Let's see if the executable kd-builder without any extensions, Python plain text file exists in tilde/.local/bin. Let's make our lives easier. I've installed Midnight Commander sudo apt install mc. We go to tilde/.local/bin mc, and we can see kdbuilder is in here. So maybe kdbuilder has done everything such that kdbuilder is in the path environment variable, and therefore tilde/.local/bin directory is in the path environment variable. But since I did not refresh my bash profile, the environment variable has not changed yet, which kdbuilder does not say anything. So I guess that I should log out of the KD Plasma session and then log in or restart the current computer. I'm going to actually restart the computer. I have restarted the computer. Let's see if the environment variable path has been changed. Yes, it did change. So now, because the directory tilde/.local/bin exists, once the bash session has been started, it found this directory and it has prepended it at the start of the path environment variable. And that's because, let's see the configuration file that actually takes care of this. There's a tilde/.profile. What do we want to use? 3. Says that if the directory tilde/.local/bin exists, this one, if -d, then it prepends to the path environment variable the directory tilde/.local/bin. And that's because of this file, tilde/.profile. Again, in order for the environment variable path to be modified, you either reboot your entire computer or log out of the graphical user interface session and log in from the desktop manager. Okay, back to where we were. Let's remove this thing. Okay, so kd.org, this hamburger button, get involved, search for development, and open setup a development environment with kdbuilder button in a new tab. And now we did this part. Yeah, so in here it should say if your path environment variable did not change instantly, maybe you should reboot your computer, or you should see your current configuration in tilde/.bashrc or in tilde/bash-profile or in tilde/.profile. It's documented in here though. Closing and reopening your terminal window once should be enough. From my experience, it's not enough. So there's plenty of documentation in here, which might need a bit of improvement for this Linux operating system, KD Neon User Edition. Okay, so now kdbuilder should be in the path. kd-builder. Whoa, what did we do? Don't do that. Don't call kdbuilder without any command line parameters. You can use the which command instead. This guy. Okay, now it's time to create the configuration file. it says that it created a configuration file in tilde/config/kdbuilder.yaml. Do we need to take care of this file and edit it a bit? Oh. Let's look at the file. Config version 2, global branch group kf6 qt6 correct, include dependencies correct, directories kd tilde/kd/src/build/usr correct, log dir tilde/kd/log, wow. CMake options, I actually want debug because I want to run the software that's built in the debugger. Numcores 14 correct, which is the number of my CPU threads on this computer for when building Qt web engine. Hopefully we do not need to build Qt web engine. Stop on failure true, directory layout flat, CMake generator ninja correct. Compile commands linking and export true correct. cline false, VS Code false, Qt creator false. I do not know what this thing does. This probably includes the module set definitions and module definitions for KD using Qt6. So I've looked at this configuration file and I could have not changed anything. The only thing that I did change was to change the CMake build type to be debug not rel with debinfo. Save, Ctrl S, exit gate. And now I'm using Debian Ubuntu based distribution and I should read here. Says that if you have the file /etc/up/sources.list, you need to do some things. If you have the file /etc/up/sources.list.d/ubuntu.sources, you should do different things. So let's actually go there in /etc/apt. sudo su cd/etc/apt mc and sources.list archive security archive noble updates, noble security and noble. Okay, what about sources.list.d, this guy? This thing. deb-src is included, type deb-src is included by default, which we'll need to change in here. So to replace deb with deb space deb-src, no need to edit this file, it's already done for us. What is this one? This is the Mozilla packages, mainly for Mozilla Firefox, the web browser. That's installed by default. And then, what is this one? var lib pre-installed pool. I'm not sure what this thing is. Okay, so the directory /etc/up/sources.list.d is done. We'll need to take care of the sources.list file. Let's go F4. Asks me again if I want, let's go with nano. So for the file /etc/up/sources.list, these are the instructions. So we need to duplicate all of the lines which start with deb space to start with deb minus src space. Let's see how we do that. Do we have cut, Control K. Okay, paste. This is a good moment to exit. Don't save and make a backup of this thing. So copy sources list, sources list, original and today's date. F4. So I do not know the shortcuts in Nano. Control K seems to be cut. And paste. Control U twice. Okay. So -src. Control K, Control UU. -src. Control K, Control UU. -src. And this should be it. So archive, security, archive, noble, security, noble updates. Each of these 3 lines should appear twice, once prefixed with deb space, and once prefixed with deb -src space. Control X, save modified buffer, yes, so Y, press enter. We could go fancy and compare the 2 files. Okay, so the 2 files are identical. It's just that in the file on the left, sources.list, 3 lines have been added, and the 3 lines are correct. Okay, so then it says that we should run apt update. Let's do that. Such that the metadata from the src repositories, the -src repositories, is being downloaded. And we can see that in here. It says sources, 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 a ton of sources. Okay, this is the case where this file does not exist. And this is the case where this file does exist, /etc/up/sources.list. Okay, next up, we should not be logged as the user root, should be back to our administrative user. And let's run this command line. It should install at least 1000 deb packages. It's already downloaded 400 deb packages. It has downloaded 654 packages, and now it's installing them in the correct order. What it's downloading here is deb packages that are needed in order to build KDE software. That means we must be able to build KDE, all of the KDE Git repositories, which are of type KDE Frameworks 5, all of the KDE Git repositories for the KDE Frameworks version 6. So that means all of the Qt 5 packages, including all of the dev packages with development.h files and the needed tools from the Qt framework. So we want both Qt 5 and Qt 6 in order to build KDE Frameworks 5 and KDE Frameworks 6. And then additional packages might be installed. But the rule is this one: make sure that you install enough deb packages or enough binary packages for your Linux distribution such that you can build all of the KDE frameworks version 6 and all of the KDE frameworks version 5 from Git, from source code, using the build tool kde-builder. We'll be back once the deb packages have finished installing. Okay, so the packages have finished installing. Let's see what's next. It complains in here that it could not find the libgpg-me, probably is, I don't know, C++ dev packages. So this command line kd-builder -install -distro -packages was complaining about libgpg-me. Let's search for this thing, the gpg-me, and let's grep for lib and grep for dev. I would say it's already installed, this one, libgpg-me dev. Maybe the pp one is C++. It looks okay. Great. Next, let's see what it does it say in here. kdesrc-build. How this was done. Okay, not important. Updating kde-builder once in a while. We're not at the moment once in a while. We just installed. No need to update anything. Okay, setup Qt. We need Qt 6.7. Let's see if we have that thing. Apt search Qt grep 6 grep base grep dev. So Qt 6 base dev is 6.7.2, which is greater than or equal to 6.7. So we have the correct version of Qt pre-installed from binary package, which is from this Linux operating system, which is KDE Neon User Edition. We certainly want to not build Qt 6 using kde-builder. Please don't do that. This is a very advanced topic, not for the people which want to start people who want to start programming for KDE. Qt from online installer, very advanced topic. Don't do this. So use a Linux operating system from the list, which is recommended in here. This thing. These Linux operating systems will have the correct version of Qt installed by default. So if you're an advanced user, you could tinker with building Qt 6 with kde-builder. You could tinker with installing Qt 6 from the online installer, but these topics are advanced for advanced KDE developers. Okay. Configure Git. This thing is not needed because I do not want to build KDE to propose GitLab merge requests. I just want to build KDE software. Once you want to create GitLab merge requests for the KDE community, do set these values correctly. I might do this just to see how it works. Okay. This again talks about how to write Git commits towards the KDE Git repositories. We do not want to do that. We just want to fetch from the KDE Git repositories and build software. I'm not sure what this thing is. Let's do it. We don't need any SSH key because, again, we're not trying to write to the kd-git repositories. Let's see this setting in system settings, this guy. We're going to search for index in here, file search, and it says that we should add an exclusion. Well, in my case, I have never had an use for indexing, and I'll do it my way this time. But you should do it like this. You should probably go to file names only, and then stop indexing a folder and select in here the KD directory, which I cannot see. I'm not sure why. Stop indexing a folder. We need to create the folder KD in here and select it. So that's the way it's documented in this screenshot, which is a good way to do it. So not index file names and contents, index file names only, and exclude tilde/kd, which means not indexed. That's one way to do it. Another way to do it is to just remove the functionality of indexing file names or file contents. And then I'm also going to delete the existing full text search index. Okay, the next steps. So I've installed kde-builder, and we're going to start using kd-builder. So kd-builder allows you to build most of the kd git repositories. For instance, if you want to build a kd git repository kconfig, you can do that. kd-builder kconfig, that would be the command line. If you want to build a kd git repository kcalc, which is this thing, oh, it's not pre-installed. It's the desktop calculator. It's a window application where you can do arithmetic. Okay, so the command line to build kcalc is kd-builder space kcalc. That's it. And kd-builder does three things: is decide the dependencies of kcalc. So kcalc depends, for instance, on kconfig. Kconfig depends on extra CMake modules. It will create a tree of dependencies, structure that tree as a list, and run the actions on these kd git repositories in the correct order. So it will do extra CMake modules first, then kconfig, then at the very last kcalc. So it knows the dependencies between kd git repositories, it knows how to git clone kd git repositories, and it knows how to build kd git repositories. Okay, this is how you build a KDE framework version 6, KDE-builder Kirigami. Kirigami is a tier 1 KDE framework version 6, and then there's applications such as kcalc. So we want to actually build kcalc. So I'll do it in the order I always do it. kde-builder. First of all, I'm going to build a config because this has just one KD git repository dependency, which is extra CMake modules. So I want to build a small amount of KD git repositories, just 2 at first, to make sure that kde-builder has been installed correctly and everything works as expected. Before anything, it will download the git clone the KD git repository sysadmin repo metadata, which is the git repository that contains the tree of dependencies between KD git repositories. Then, with that information, kde-builder can detect that kconfig depends on extra CMake modules, and it's going to build the git clone and build the KD git repositories in the correct order. Extra CMake modules first, kconfig last. As a rule, when you go kd-builder and then the name of a module such as keyconfig will be the last one to be built. So whatever you, if you only specify the name of one module, that's the last thing that's going to get built. It's using Ninja, so that let's see what it does for each KD Git repository. For this one, extra CMake modules, it does Git operations. This is the Git clone operation. It's doing other Git operations such as making sure that when you're building these modules, such as extra CMake modules, all of the Git commits that exist in the remote origin in the official KDE Git repository also exist on your local computer, and that the master branch, both locally and remote, point to the same Git repository, which means that if you have changes, local changes on the KDE Git repository extra CMake modules, those changes will get, I know, stashed, and the local Git master branch will point to the same Git commit that the remote origin Git master branch points to. So you risk to lose your local changes if you build using kd-builder and do not pass the command line parameter --src- only. Okay, the two modules says that have been built. Let's make life easier for me. Sudo apt install Crusader. So this is a Qt 5 KD Git repository Crusader application, which is a file manager, which is twin pane, also known as Orthodox File Manager. Ignore what I'm doing right now. Okay, so I have installed this application, Crusader. Extra CMake modules was git cloned into the directory kd src extra CMake modules in here. Let me install some extra software. Apt install git GUI. Okay, so we can look with git GUI. So the remote's origin master branch points to this git commit. Set import paths for QML modules. The local git master branch points to the same git commit. Set import paths for QML modules. And then this is probably, I know, a work in progress git branch or a merge request. It's a very clean git clone. So it does just git clone and then keeps the git repository clean. There's no generate files in here, no build artifacts, no nothing. All of those things which would make the git clone dirty happen in this other directory ~kd/build extra CMake modules. Here's all of the generated files, the results of the CMake configure, the Ninja build configuration files, the binary files, everything's in here. And inside the subdirectories here. This was the Git operations. This is the building. So it says removing files in build directory. So it does a bit of cleanup in this directory ~kd/build/extra CMake modules. And then it's running the CMake configure step, which will generate Ninja files, which is files with extension Ninja. So this one. So Ninja and Ninja files are something similar to GNU make files and GNU make, maybe a bit more low level. So an assembler for make, something like that. And then at the compiling step, the command line Ninja, without any parameters probably, is being run, which takes the Ninja file and will run the build steps. And then this final step is the Ninja install phase, which again looks at the Ninja executable starts, invoked with the command line parameter install, and looks at the Ninja configuration files, such as in there for the targets needed for installing files, and then takes the build files from somewhere from here, I'm not sure where, and copies them into the directory /kd/usr in here. So the .h files are probably going to be in here, /kd/usr/include kf6 extra simming modules. Probably doesn't have C++ source code. So in here, not in here. I don't know where ECM gets installed. Maybe in /kd/usr/share/ECM. Okay. Whereas kconfig is a C++ Git repository. Let's look at it. So src kconfig. There's a cmakelist.txt file, which requires Qt6, at least version 6.5, but we have 6.7 available and installed. It will build C++ files. This one, kauthorize.cpp, generate build artifacts into the directory /kd/build/kconfig in here. So these are executable files. These are shared libraries similar to Windows DLL files. More executables. There's many executables which contain the text test in their name because these are ctest tests, Qt tests, executables. There's also a bit of QML generated by kconfig, which is unexpected. I wouldn't expect that kconfig does QML. Okay, so we proved that kd-builder was installed configured correctly, that it could build at least two modules, extra modules ECM and kconfig. Now it's time to give it more modules to build. I want to build the GUI application kcalc, so let's build that. Kcalc depends on 27 KD Git repositories and on other packages which come from the KD Neon binary packages. You can see the progress in here, how KD Git repositories get cloned. So K internationalization KI18N was Git cloned way before it could be built. Right now we're building Kcore add-ons. So if your network speed is fast enough, Git clones will happen before building the individual KD Git repositories. So there's different threads for the Git clone operations and the build one module operation. This step, compiling, will use all of my CPU threads. So I have 14 and all of these will be used. These modules are not built in parallel, they're built sequentially, serially. So first ECM, then Wayland, then Plasma Wayland protocols, etc. Where it's parallelized, it's at least at the compiling step. This is where it's using all of my CPU threads. Okay, only now it's building K internationalization KI18N, although the git clone happened 1 minute ago. At this step, it has finished git cloning all of the 28 git repositories, including kcalc, and it finished building 6 out of the 28 KD git repositories. There's also modules which are not KD git repositories, such as this one, Wayland. Most of the modules that are built by kd-builder are actually KD Git repositories, and KD Git repositories live in our GitLab instance. So for kcalc, apps.kd.org/kcalc, you can click on the browse source code link and will take you to the correct Git repository, https://invent.kd.org/utilities/kcalc. This is the Git repository that was git cloned in here. How can we see that? Patch from origin should not do anything because it's a fresh git clone. Okay, we can see again that the local master branch, remote origin master branch points to the same git repository, which is this one from Laurent M. Oh, ECM said disable deprecation versions Qt 6.8.0. It's interesting. And many git commits which have not been merged yet. We can also see the remote's origin. We can start, for instance, console from here. And we can run git remote -v. So this is this URL, https://invent.kd.org/utilities/kcalc. This is for git clone, git fetch operations. So for downloading, the HTTPS protocol is a not authenticated one. So it's you can read from this git repository. It's public. The operation of reading, the operations of writing use another protocol, SSH, which requires that you have an account on the KDE infrastructure, which means so you should read the documentation on how to start programming for KDE. In there, it will tell you that you need to create KDE online accounts. You start with having an email address, and then you use that email address in order to create a KDE identity, and then that identity you can use for instance for editing the KDE wikis, but also for having write access to invent.kd.org. At first you will have your own clones of KDE Git repositories, and you're going to write to those and request a merge request from your git clone towards the official KDE Git repository. After a while, you will become a KDE developer, and you will be able to write to this Git repository directly in a Git branch, and then request a merge request from that branch to the KD Git master branch. Okay, let's see how far did the building go. So it's module 13 out of 28. Many Git repositories are actually a dependency of kcalc, which is a Qt widgets application, even if that would not be immediately intuitive. But a KD Qt widgets GUI application does require icons. So that's why you build the default KD icon theme by default before building kcalc, which is Breeze icons. You also need the correct KD color scheme, so you build that first, etc. You also need the Qt widgets theme in order for you to be able to run kcalc as intended by the KDE developers, which is also Breeze. So the Qt theme that's used by default by KDE Plasma is Breeze. We'll be back once kcalc finishes building correctly. So the module kcalc was built correctly by KDE-builder. We have two warnings in here. Says that Sonnet, which is a KDE framework, would require that we install the dev packages for aspell, hunspell, or voico, which are spell checking libraries for Linux. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to actually install just one of these, which is hunspell. So that would be apt search hunspell grep dev, and I want this thing. Apt install libhunspell -dev. I do not know what this thing is. Hopefully it's okay if we don't install it libhunspell -private -dev. So next time when the module Sonnet will be built, for instance, if we build kcalc and tell it, please refresh all of your dependent modules, it will see that Sonnet is a dependency of kcalc. It will see that the dependencies of Sonnet have changed. We'll rebuild Sonnet, and this time Sonnet will have the optional dependency of hunspell, which is not actually an optional dependency. So on Linux, Sonnet doesn't really work if it doesn't have at least one of the spelling backends available. Okay. For KF6 doctools, I'm not sure they're that important. We could skip them for a while. Okay, so the previous time we have run kd-builder kcalc, which has just built and installed kcalc. Let's see where it got installed. So kd src kcalc is where git clone operations took place. kd-build kcalc is where the build artifacts were created. And then the installation was towards tilde/kd/usr bin, and then in here should be the executable kcalc, which we probably can just double click on. And it works correctly. Okay. We can do the same thing, so not double click on tilde/kd/usr/bin/kcalc, but use a command line. That would be kd-builder --run, and then the name of the module kcalc. It's using the correct theme, but it's using the Qt widgets theme from the current installation of KDE Plasma 6, not from kdesrc-build. which we can prove by looking that we did not build the Breeze Qt widgets theme. Pipe wire, text widgets, icon, item views, icon themes, global Excel, Sonnet, completion archive, Breeze icons. So I don't see the Breeze Qt widgets theme anywhere. So that means I'm going to close this application keycalc. I know it works okay. So 1, 2, 3 plus 3, 2, 1 equals 4, 4, 4. Okay. I'm going to build the next module, which is plasma minus integration, which will build all of the needed modules such that any application that I run from kde-builder, so from tilde/kd, will behave correctly, will use the correct icon theme, the correct mouse cursor theme, the correct Qt widgets theme, the correct, I don't know, maybe even QML, Qt quick controls, QCC theme. Some of these Git repositories have already been built as part of the 27 build dependencies of kcalc. Some of these have no need to be built again, so it will not do much for these modules. For some modules, it might do an incremental build. So kd-builder does not do rebuilds by default, does do incremental builds. So if the module keyconfig was built previously and just one CPP file has changed, when you run kd-builder and kconfig needs to be built, it will not be rebuilt. So only that independent C++ units will be built, and then only the needed libraries and ELF executables will be linked, and then those will get hopefully installed. So a rebuild would mean cleaning the entire directory tilde/kd/build for kconfig. So deleting this entire directory and then doing all of the operations from scratch. So git operations, the cmake config step, the cmake build step, so the entire Ninja build all of the C++ translation units, link everything, etc. And then a complete install towards tilde/kd/usr. One module which when you build, for instance, kcalc Breeze icons continues to be a dependency of kcalc. It will try to not rebuild but build Breeze icons. But Breeze icons is not such a well-behaved module in the sense that when you are not rebuilding it, you're just building it. It takes, I don't know, 2 minutes. So there's an issue in this Git repository. Maybe it does some pre-processing. Maybe it generates PNG files from SVG or something. And those code generations happen even at build time, not only at rebuild time. And that's why Breeze icons take a ton of time to build, which is why I build the module Breeze icons once, and then I configure it to be ignored by kde-builder. There's a list of ignored modules that you have in the configuration file of kd-builder, and I add to that list this module Breeze-icons. Another module which takes a ton of time to build, not rebuild, like minutes, is gpgme. So I do the same thing with gpgme. I build it once and then I add it to the ignore list in the kd-builder configuration file. The configuration file is this one, tilde/kd tilde/.config/kd-builder.yml. Let's see where that thing is. So in here, in the general, in the global group inside kd-builder.yml, there's a possibility of putting ignored modules. I'm not sure what's the exact syntax. And in here, I add the two modules which are not best behaved when I do build, not rebuild. So the first one is this one. And the other one is gpgme. I'm not sure what the syntax is. Do I need to separate these ones with a comma or not? If this is ignore modules or ignored modules, you'll have to look this up yourself. I'm not even going to save the modifications in the file. Discard. Okay, so now we're building the integrations that KDE Plasma has below the Qt 6 framework. The fact that applications using Qt 6, even if they're not part of the KDE project, such as I know the Qt BitTorrent application, this thing. Even these Qt 6 applications, which are not part of KDE, should use the KDE file open dialogues, the KDE file save dialogues, the KDE print dialogues, the KDE icon theme, the KDE Qt widgets theme, etc. In my opinion, you should run kde-builder space plasma minus integration at least once before building KDE applications, such as in this example kcalc. Because only like this, if you have Plasma integration built from source using KDE-builder, will have the correct setup when you run KDE applications which are built from source using KDE-builder, such as kcalc. So this should be it. I'm building Plasma integration, then I'm going to build all of the KDE frameworks. So that command line will be kd-builder frameworks. And then if everything builds correctly or the KDE Git repository is built correctly, you certainly have a correct installation of KDE-builder. You've built a complex-ish KDE application such as kcalc. You've built all of the KDE frameworks version 6. From here on, you can complete the next steps in the procedure how to start programming for KDE, because the build framework KDE Builder was installed and configured correctly. Thank you.